Hi, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't been able to update my channel and post any new information on the multiple cars I've got going right now because we are still hindered by the COVID-19 parts backorder plague that seems to be striking all of us. For example, the rear wheels that I ordered back, I want to say last October from Rocket Racing. They were originally supposed to be here in December, then they got pushed back to February, then March. Now they're showing availability as late as May, so I'm frustrated by that. As far as the 2011 Mustang, my Boss 302S Ford Performance wheels that I needed to get to allow for the Brembo brake package, that has been back ordered again to the end of March, so we're still waiting there. And as far as the 1999 Mustang, the new one I acquired, well, I was going to table it and not do much on it and just put it on the back burner, but met a nice gentleman who is working with me on the engine, and I should be picking up that car very soon, probably in the next day or so, with a brand new engine rebuild on it. I decided to keep the 4.6 Windsor 2-valve engine and keep the car pretty much stock, but I am going to be doing cosmetic stuff like wheels and tires, new brake rotors and brake pads, and may even lower it a little bit. I also got some parts, if you can see this box right here. I won't go into that, but basically what that is, that's a brand new back window for the top, and we're going to replace that and get the seat fixed and everything else. So those updates will be coming very, very soon. As soon as I get the car back, I'm going to be posting a short video on that to show you how it's running. The knock is gone. We basically have done a complete rebuild on the engine. I'm very, very excited to get it back. As far as the 32 Ford goes, again, not too many updates, but I do have one thing exciting to show you. Let me show you what we got here. Now, I was able to finally get the radiator in, which anyone who builds street rods know how expensive these will be. This right here is, and if I can lift up the box here, I'll show you who it's from. The company is in Indiana, I believe. It's Performance Rod and Custom, PRC. This is a aluminum radiator with the AC condenser attached to the front of it, made specifically for this deal. PRC made this radiator specifically for my car. It's got a driver's side outlet there on the bottom for the Ford engine, and the inlet is in the center at the top, as are the case with most of these. The reason I'm very excited about this is pretty simple. Number one, the quality is immaculate. Really seems to be a well-made radiator. The other thing that made me excited about this is radiators for street rods are prohibitively expensive, enormously expensive. My father, for many, many years, my entire life, built street rods, primarily 32 Fords, but he also built 36s, 41s, 40s, things like that across the board. One of the first things he would always purchase was the radiator, because it's a big expense, but you also have to have it to line up all of the where the engine's going to be located, make sure your pulleys and your water pump fit, you know, see how much you have to take out of the firewall and recess the firewall. All of those measurements are very important to have the radiator first, so you know where you stand with that. Understand, the last street rod that I personally built with my father was back in the 90s. That was when I had finally moved out, gotten my own family, and I wasn't able to work with him in the shop as much as usual. But even back in the 1980s, a radiator of the type that I got here, except it's copper, they weren't really using aluminum that much at that time. This was a copper radiator with the AC condenser on. I believe it was the Walker Radiator Z Series. They were close to $1,000, even in the 1980s and 90s. This particular radiator right here is very, very nice aluminum, which dissipates heat as well, if not, some would argue as better, dissipates heat better than copper does. And this radiator was a little over $700, and it is custom made for my car. I'm very happy that I found that. I was originally going to go with a Walker radiator, but I'm not sure if you know, Vernon Walker, who is one of the founding members of the National Street Rod Association, NSRA, and other things, he passed away not too long ago, and his company has since ceased operations. It's my understanding that I think it's Johnson Rod Shop or something like that has bought all of the tooling for Walker and is going to start marketing those radiators again. But number one, I don't have time to wait on them to get their tooling up to speed. And number two, if the previous prices on Walker radiators were any indicator, it was going to be prohibitively expensive. So I searched high and low looking for a suitable replacement. I found many 32 radiators that were actually $300, $400, $500, but they didn't have the air conditioning condenser in them, and I did want that accompanied with it. I got in touch with Yogi's Hot Rod Parts. I believe they're in Davenport, Iowa. I'm not sure of the city, but I know they're in Iowa. They were able to hook me up. It actually came in a little bit less expensive than I was expecting. And here the radiator sits. So as soon as I start acquiring more 32 Ford parts, we're going to start really going to town on this one and getting it going. Another good thing about that is I did speak to the folks at Show Me Riding Custom. They told me that my frame would be there, and I'm using their quote, any day. And after that, they do have a few bodies ahead of mine as far as body construction goes, but we're getting real close on me taking a trip to Missouri and picking up that radiator. So I'm looking forward to that very much so. Well, I appreciate your indulgence on this. I want to thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe. I will try to have more content coming in very soon. And if you like this content that you're sharing, that you're showing, or viewing is what I'm trying to say. If you do like the content that we're producing, be sure and make a comment. Let's talk cars. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks again. Bye.